Welcome back to IdleTalk. It's been a while.
Yeah.
We're doing something different today. Today we're dropping an episode called IdleTalk 1, where we have no topic.
Oh, no.
We don't prepare for anything. We just get on the mic and just flow. So I'm Fernando.
Valdez the Don.
This is IdleTalk 1. So
You came back from Mexico.
yes.
So for the listeners, let them know how long you were at Mexico for.
So I think it starts from the very beginning. We were having conversations about starting a podcast, right? October, the latest of 2020.
Should we have an anniversary for that? Like, should we have a
I have the picture I took of our first ever episode thing. So I think with that date it says like November 20 something.
Mm-hmm.
That could be it. But so we were having conversations about it. We were prepping things. We were looking at different mics, doing all the research, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I think we mentioned before that the idea of the show is going to be completely different than what it is now. So yeah, the idea was going to be completely different. We're going to have all of our boys together, alternating guests, alternating, hosts on the show. And just now we kind of got just me and you.
Yeah.
And, that might be for the better because less people in a room, more time to discuss and do things.
Mm-hmm.
But we were planning that, figuring that out. And then we recorded our first 11 episodes that we released. That's so up until this point, episode 1 through 11 was recorded, I want to say in the same 2-week period.
I would say 3.
3-week period?
Yeah.
So sometimes I'll reference December and then the episode would be out in February.
Yeah.
And I would hear that, I'm like, oh, damn. But either way, so we recorded all that. So now we're back in the groove. We're back in the studio.
We got it. It took us. I think it took us up till episode 6 until we actually got in the groove of how to prep the work.
Yeah.
And actually get into the recording flow.
Yeah.
Because before we were just like so static. We were like.
Yeah.
So.
And then speaking of that, and we did test episodes too.
Yeah, we did.
So we did like 20 test episodes. Didn't like it. Like we did a lot of like short like recordings.
Yeah.
We did multiple episodes multiple times trying to figure it out. So we did a lot of tests. And even then even the ones we were happy with releasing, we still didn't catch our groove up until episode 6 or so 5-ish. So yeah, that's been the podcasting world has been an exciting one to be in, I would say.
Growing pains.
Yeah. Everything has growing pains, but I feel like this is like the good kind.
Uh-huh.
Where you're excited for the growing pains. Kind of like when you work out and you're like, oh my God, I'm getting muscle now. Like you're feeling your muscles tearing and they're growing. Mm-hmm. It kind of feels like that.
I thought you were going to say growing. Growing?
Oh, no. Groin tearing? No. Growing, I said.
Yeah. Go ahead.
And I said your muscles tearing signify that they are growing.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So yeah. So then, boom, we dropped we pre-recorded our first 11 episodes. And then I hopped on a plane immediately after that. And I was
Mexico.
Like, dip, peace, I'm out of here. So December, January, February, gone.
You know what I think is funny? Is even though you told me like 15 times that you're going to Mexico, I was so surprised.
I was like, nah, I'm dipping. And it was crazy. We started our podcast, like the idea, like getting things in motion, and then like 3 days later, I was like, plane ticket. I was like, I'm out of here, because I was already mentally gone.
Mentally,
yeah, I was out in November.
All right, so your reasoning to go to Mexico was to what?
I don't even think I had a reasoning to go. I just felt like going. Yeah. And then I found out the reasoning when I came back.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yesterday?
For the sake of this, yeah, I guess yesterday, yeah. No, because I structured my time. I was like, I'm going to spend the first, 12 days with my dad's side of the family. I'm going to spend 2.5, 3 months with my other grandma, and then 2 weeks with that same side of the family again. Mm-hmm. And so I went. I was like, oh, fun, touristy things, money. I didn't have to spend a dime when I was with them, right? Mm-hmm. And then I went to my grandma's house, spent those 3 months there, just figuring out, how to make improvements to the living situation she is. Because she's an old lady. She's 83 years old.
Does no one else help her?
No, my uncle is there, but he's old too. He's 63. So I'm like, that's like a horse taking care of a dog, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, like
I like that analogy.
babysit my dog, and it's like, yeah, horse. Like when you think about when like in movies, like the white people be getting a babysitter, that's like 14 years old, right? And their kid is 8. I'm like, that's exactly the same thing. That's like a horse babysitting a dog.
Mm-hmm.
That's I don't know why you have so much trust in a teenager, a 14-year-old, to take care of your 8-year-old.
Yeah.
So that doesn't really make sense to me. But then again, would you trust an adult with your kid, watching your kid in your house like another adult? That's not like an aunt or a close friend of yours. Or even then, that's still pretty sus. But like,
that's like the scary thing, man.
Yeah.
Because like you see videos of just
exactly
people just hitting your kids, or like
worse,
or hitting your mom who's old.
Yeah.
And you're just like, now I gotta kill you. Why you put me in this position? Trust somebody. I guess somebody who I don't know. Nah, I wouldn't trust them. I would put up
even
cameras.
if you're paying them, even if you're professional, even if they're a quote unquote professional.
I would still put a camera because these people who get the videos exposed are quote unquote professionals.
Yeah. So yeah, my uncle's there, and then so I was there, and I was just like, oh my god, you guys are old.
Mm-hmm.
You can't be saying you take care of my grandma. You're old too. You need to be taken care of too
as well.
Yeah. And so like I fixed up the bathroom there, got it done. Now there's like a handicap like bar for there to pick up. I put a chair in there. Mm-hmm. So it's nice. It's all good and perfect, and I got it the way I envisioned it, because they were like, this is how we do it. I was like, actually, fuck how you do it. Do it this way. Yeah. And it came out cool. Like the tiles were pretty like even on one side, and then they were offset on the other side. Yeah. And then even diagonally across the even, and then offset across the offset. And then I got there's a strip that separates the middle of the bathroom. It's like you could get it with whatever you want, the design. I was like, I want 4 strips on this side. I don't want it across the whole bathroom. I just want 4 stripes on this one side. And it looked cool because it was silver, it was platinum. Yeah. I was like, oh shit, this looks fire. I got an LED light, and then so it looks mad bright in that bathroom now. Like, there's no possible way you can't see anything in there now. Yeah. Before that was one of their problems. That they couldn't before see. It was just mad dark. Like you would flip on the light switch, and if you move the light switch, because it wasn't in the wall, it was hanging off, like the wire. If you move it wrong, the light turns off. Or if a wind pops in, it'll shake it. It'll flicker on and off. Yeah. And it'll look like a horror movie in there. And then I would hear gust of winds pass and go. Like, the lights will flicker, and I was like, "Oh motherfucker, why?" It is 4 a.m. Why are you flickering? Sometimes I just wake up to go to the bathroom. It would just flicker. I was like, "Damn." It was pretty dark too, like the bathroom. Mm-hmm. And I was like, "Nah, it needs more light. Everything needs more light." Because when you go and you to rural Mexico, it's not neighborhoods. It's like your neighbor is like a good 2 to like 5 minute walking away. So it's not really close where I could just go out here and then walk like a second and be next to your neighbor's house. Yeah. They're not that close. Like minutes don't sound long, but they're actually just like a 2 to 5 minute walk to the next neighbor. And there aren't really street lamps there. So you gotta carry like a lamp on your head and when you're walking at night. A GoPro, like yeah. And so just like everybody has their own land, and their land is big enough to where you're not gonna be close to your neighbor. Yeah. And it's like, oh my god.
What are the trespassing laws? Will they shoot you if you trespass?
No, everybody's nice. Okay. They're like, yeah, what do you want? What's up? It's because if you live in a town, everybody in the town pretty much knows each other, right? Because there's no Wi-Fi, so you have to talk to people, or like if you want something done, if you need like a service provided, like you would go to that person's house, like you would go to that person who provide that service. So like down the hill there was like a welder / hairstylist / like that the husband and wife did everything. Like,
oh, okay. So I thought it was the same person.
No, it could be the same person though. Okay. It could be the same person, except the wife didn't know how to weld, but she could do other things like injections. Yeah. Like if you have medicine, like they inject it in your butt. Like they don't really give you pills. Yeah. They give you injections. You inject it in your butt. And have you ever had an injection in your butt? No. It hurts.
Have you did that?
I had it when I was when I first went to Mexico when I was like 8 or 9. One of the first times I went, like I got sick, and they're like, "You need an injection." I was like, "What?" And I took off I rolled up my sleeve, and they're like, "No, in your butt cheek." I was like, what?
Yeah, it's in your butt.
In your butt. And so I ran from the clinic. I ran. Even my grandpa was still alive, so he was chasing me down.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, no, I'm out of here. And I got caught.
And then you
took me
you gotta
back
take it
and
up the butt.
No, not up the butt. In your butt cheek. For a guy who doesn't like things up his butt, you talk about that a lot.
Yeah.
So yeah, they inject you. And apparently, like, not everybody knows how to inject you. And you can't inject yourself. I don't know what the rule on that is. I don't know what makes you qualified to inject somebody, but then you could get that services done too. So it's weird. It's weird. It's like I would walk down and they'd be like, is your grandma home? I was like, no. She's like, okay. I'm like, I don't even know who the fuck you were. You're asking me questions about my grandma. Clearly you know her, but I don't know. I don't know you. How do you know me? Like, because I would go play basketball, so I would walk down the hill. And you know what? There's another problem. Fucking dogs. So many dogs over there that are like untrained, untaken care of, and they'd be mad aggressive. And I'd be pegging them dogs with rocks to stay away from me because they'll get up in my face. I'll be like, yo, this is not what I'm trying to do. And then my little nephew, you got to hit him with a rock. I'm like, that's not the correct thing to do.
Yeah.
I think that's part of the reason why they're like this. I'm like, yo, I was trying to communicate with them. I was like, yo, stay over there.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not trying to do you no harm.
Did any of them get aggressive with you?
Yeah, they all get aggressive. So I started rolling deep with my dogs, and then they were like, "Oh shit, this guy has dogs." Like I feel like everywhere I would go, all the dogs would follow me.
Mm-hmm.
So my grandma had like 6 dogs at the house, and then anywhere I would go, they would just follow me everywhere. And then
nice.
Other dogs would join the pack of 6 dogs. Like if I wanted to go down to the Wi-Fi to buy a Wi-Fi card, I would walk down the hill. Yeah, I needed a Wi-Fi card. Okay. So I would walk down the hill, up the hill, and on my travels down to going up to the Wi-Fi place, I would have like 4 or 5 more dogs on my little pack. Mm-hmm. And then when I would go back home, I would drop off these dogs at their houses and then come back with my 6 dogs. So in total, I'll be walking around with like 10 dogs.
Not on a leash, right?
Not on a leash. They're just all behind me. They just understood that. They would walk at my pace too. I'd be walking slow. They'd be walking at my pace.
That's cool.
And I was just like, oh my god, I'm a leader.
That's
really pack cool. Leader. So even puppies, like we had 3 puppies. And then so I'll be walking with them and they'll be following me. They wouldn't be doing puppy shit like running over there. It's like the dynamic was that I was the
pack leader.
The pack leader. Because the bigger dog would follow me behind me. And it was cool. And I would buy these cookies and I would give the dog a cookie. Here you go. The days that would be me and just the bigger dog, I'll walk and like, here you go, here's a cookie.
Oh, that's nice.
We'd share that.
In my time while you were separated from me,
I
didn't mean to make it sound like that. When you were in Mexico and I was over here, as you could tell, you know, I was doing a lot of renovations in my house.
Yeah, you were doing that before I even left.
Yeah,
you were doing renovations.
Been taking a minute. Where we just put in all the cabinets in the kitchen. Now we gotta install the sink, the stove, and get a new fridge.
Appliances.
Yeah, it costs a lot.
I bought appliances too. I bought a washer machine. I had to get it from a Walmart that was like 2 hours away. You know how challenging it is to buy something that's 2 hours away and you don't have a car.
Pretty freaking
challenging. So I had to like go buy, like I had to rent a car, like every time I went to that town, and it was just like, it was so funny because we were delivering the washing machine. Yeah. And then my cousin goes, "Oh, we probably won't make it up this hill." And as soon as she said that, the fucking car stopped and it started rolling backwards. And I was like, "Why you jinxed it?" That was just so funny. About all the supplies for the bathroom, a washing machine, lights, LED lights. They're like, not like bulbs, but like they're like strips, but not strips. They're like sticks, LED light sticks. And those weren't that expensive. It was 3 for 100 pesos. If you think about it, 100 pesos is what?
50 cents?
No, like $5.
I don't know the equivalent.
Because 2,000 pesos is $100.
Okay. On my time, while we were separated.
Yeah, you said that already.
Yeah. I'm just gonna continue. I'm just trying to get my mind back on track. Not only was I renovating my place, but I also got a new job, and my job is in the private security sector, And that has been an interesting position, honestly. A lot of people just want to fight me just because I'm security.
Because you got a fightable face.
I do have a fightable face, like a punchable face, right?
Yeah.
Like, I just want to punch this guy in the face. I've been threatened a few times, and I think it's just really hilarious. The people who are the most aggravated, or what's the word? And
agitated.
I was gonna say antagonistic.
I don't think that's the right word.
I don't think that's the right word either.
So I think it.
Aggressive. These individuals are short. They're small, and there's this one in particular person who always comes in. Doesn't matter the time of day, just reeking of alcohol, and it's just an annoyance. Outside of that, I've been able to go to art galleries.
Art gallery? Oh, for work. I thought you meant like just like on your own time.
I want to do that too, but it's too
I
cold.
thought I was like, where did you go?
It's too cold as of right now, but I am gonna visit some art galleries as it gets warmer and tune up my bike. I'm gonna do a lot of stuff. You said you figured out what you did in Mexico.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's a little bit deeper.
And you came back.
Yeah.
And you've been getting in touch with your like social media more. You got like TikTok,
pick the ground,
Twitter, Instagram.
Hit the ground running. Yeah.
I saw this tweet. You're a chronic liar.
I said was. If you read the tweet,
yeah,
it was. But you're saying I am still.
I don't know if
no.
Did you
I clarified it.
Did you overcome that?
In the tweet? Huh? Yeah.
You overcome that?
Yeah.
Okay.
It was easy.
When did it change? When did that change? When did you stop being a chronic liar?
I want to say recently.
How recent?
Like a year ago.
Have you ever lied to me?
No.
Really?
No.
As a chronic liar,
because I respect you. I respect you.
So
it was at the point where I was like, people I don't know or I don't respect, I will not. Like, it's always been like, when someone asks me something, my first thought, I think I've mentioned it before, is always like, why do you want to know this information?
Mm-hmm.
And so, I don't mind putting out false information. And then it just be like, can we come back to it? And I'm like, does that sound like that would happen? And then like, and the person asking me about it, if it ever got back to me, like, no, right? I was like, yeah, so whoever told you that is just wrong. And I would just destroy the credibility of that whoever like told that person.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking I'm playing chess while these motherfuckers just playing like tic-tac-toe.
Oh, okay. I thought that was funny.
That's part of my like. I could tell you that in college I did lie in that way, that strategic way, to help destroy somebody's credibility on things, and because it's
like a villain.
Yeah. I was a villain. I was trying to be a villain too, because I know that these like the people I was working with and the like in the positions I was in, I was just like, I'm not gonna get anywhere being nice to everybody, being the nice minority guy. You know, like I already have that. I'm a minority going for me. I'm usually like the only male minority in the room.
Yeah.
There's usually another female minority in the room, whether it be black or Asian or whatever it will be. But I was usually the only male in the room.
Yeah.
There's usually only white people in the room, and so I was like, I can't fall under the like the circumstances of I have to be nice to everybody.
Yeah. Like
I was gonna walk in the room, I would just be like, I'm gonna get what is gonna benefit me more. Mm-hmm. Like if they're like, we're hosting a festival and we need all your employees to work. Meanwhile, this guy's employees, we're only gonna take 3 from him, 3 from them, 3 from them. I'm like, no, you're taking 4 from me, and I'll pop in every once in a while. Like I'm not gonna tell all my employees to work. Cause what if they want to go? First of all, what if they want to go attend the event, right?
Yeah.
What if they have something to do? Like what if they're so I'm like, you can't ask me to give you my 25 employees and only take 3 from here, 3 from there, 3 from there. I don't care what the team size of them are, right? If they say they only have 10, 8, and they're taking 3 and they're taking 3 and taking 3, I'm like, I have 25. Just because I have more doesn't mean you are allowed to take all of them.
Yeah.
I'm like, to me that was stupid, and I would always say that. I'm like, I am gonna ask who wants to work. I'm not gonna just tell them who needs to work.
Yeah.
I'm gonna ask. I'm like, if you want the hours, it's from here to here. Who wants to do it? That was always my philosophy, because whoever wants to do it's gonna do it.
Yeah.
If I tell them what to do, they're not gonna do it. Especially because it's like a mean. If I was your boss, right?
Yeah.
It was just like,
I wouldn't like that already.
Yeah, because we're the same, but not. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like we're the same age, we're in the same school, doing the same shit. But then again, like, what qualifies me to be your boss, you might not agree with. I would definitely agree with it, because I would think I was overqualified for that spot. But I would just be like, I'm gonna ask, because I'm not gonna tell them.
I'll fight you at that point.
If you fight me, I'm just firing you. If you try to fight me, this one kid tried to fight me, and I was like, get out of here,
Really?
Rob, get out of here. Get out of here, Rob.
Why did he try to fight you?
He was a Mexican kid. I'm like, I thought we were buddies, Rob. I thought we were like, there's only 4 Mexicans on that campus, and one of them wanted to fight me. I was like, really?
Isn't that crazy? Like, the people that you think are buddies are always like, they always have this like
once
agenda against
you.
you.
Once you level up or something in a way that I guess that they see threatening to you, because I wasn't, like, when I was in charge, I wasn't trying to be like a in your face leader about it. I was just like, hey, it's me, guys.
Yeah,
you can be cool with me. But I always told my employees, first and foremost, I was like, I will defend you until I'm proven wrong.
Yeah.
Right? I will have your back in any situation, whether you're here in my face or not. I will defend you until it is proven to me that you were in the wrong, and then I will back down and then apologize for your actions, right?
Yeah.
So let's say, like, they're checking security cameras, and they're like, yeah, he didn't show up for work. I'm like, he's on time all the time, always there. Show me the camera, and then I'll believe, like, that he wasn't there, right? And then so they review the footage, and it turns out he was there, right? It may be that he left early, or maybe he showed up late, right, and didn't tell nobody. But that's different than saying he wasn't there at all, right?
Yeah.
So I will go up to bat every time until it's like, no, actually, you're wrong. Here's the proof. And I'm like, okay, I'm wrong. I will talk to him.
What was your batting average?
I'm hitting home runs every time, bro. I'm always like, because I knew my employees.
So 1,000?
Yeah, 1,000, bro. Home runs every time. Like, you're not gonna play me. You're not gonna make it sound like I have bad staff. Like, that's a reflection on me now.
Yeah.
Right. So I'm like, no. Like, let's look at the cameras, and they would hate to do that because you have to go upstairs. They were usually old, so they couldn't figure out how to do the cameras, and I have to fucking do the cameras. I'm like, don't try to argue with me. If you can't do the cameras, then don't say let's go check the cameras, right?
Yeah.
I'm like, I know they're there. Like, they text me anything usually, right? And if they don't, then that's a slip up. That's a mistake. You can overlook it, right? Yeah. But it was never the same person. Like, it was never like Joan was late again. Joan was absent again. Like, it was never the same person. It was always like, oh, new girl over there was absent. I'm like, well, let's see. Let's talk about it. And then, but it was never the same person. Never the same person. I was like, you can't just keep saying that about people. And then if it was the same person, then I would see why you would keep bringing it up. But it's not the same person. So why? If you just happen to go out, they would need to go do rounds, check the building, go up and down, right?
Yeah.
Ask people if they need help, and then help them if they say yes, right? Because you preach to us to ask the professionals in the building if they need help. If one of them says yes with a task that takes 45 minutes, and they're there for a 2-hour shift, and you don't see them for 45 minutes, what does that say? That they're not there?
Yeah.
You don't know.
They're doing a task.
Yeah, they could be doing a task. They could be not there. You know, either or. You don't know which way the actual action was. So I'll just be like, nah, I'm gonna have my employees back every single time, no matter what, until it's like, okay, I'm wrong. They were in the wrong for doing that, and I'll talk to them, or we can talk to them right now. Like, yeah, that's what I would do.
I think it's very important for the boss to always come from the position that he's overseeing. Because if you take somebody who just goes into that position of leadership and they haven't worked on that position that they're overseeing, then they're just gonna be like, oh, you're in the wrong because I got a complaint. It's just like, do you know the steps that I have to go through as the worker and the amount of time that I have to take to do these things? If you don't know, then you're just coming at me with this assumption that I'm already in the wrong.
Exactly.
And I dislike that.
And then training too, I would tell them, I'm like, yo, training is like the whole day. It's only once at the beginning of the semester. I don't know how long it's gonna take, but it takes a long time. Because
I hate when people speed the training. It's just like when you speed the training, then you skip steps, and then when I'm in the position,
and I skip steps because I don't know what happens.
Exactly.
No, bro. I remember one time I was like, okay, let's say it's a Thursday, it's midnight, you're closing, right? First time closing, you go downstairs, a kid sleeping in a stairwell.
Yeah.
What do you do?
Kick him.
Because that's happened before. There's incidents like that. There's people sleeping. No, sleeping in the building, right? Okay. And they're not students. And then it's like, okay. And it was like, that day it was happened to be like a smaller girl. Like she was like physically small, but she was like our age, college, right?
5'4".
Like shorter, like almost 5'2" on a good day. And then so I'm like, so this like when I'm training, I'm just like, this is a real life situation that's happened. Like, and I was like, at that time, there was a girl named, let's say you saw Malik sitting there sleeping, right? But you don't know Malik. You've never seen him. Doesn't look like he comes here. In your mind right now, what is going through your head, like, right? Mm-hmm. And then I'm like, really think out loud right now. She's like, and the first thing that comes out of her mouth, she's like, oh fuck, who is this? Right? And it's like, these situations, we tell you what to do. We can tell you like, do this, right? But when you're faced with something like this, right, in that manner, where it's like you're not expecting that, like there's no part in the rule book for it, but it's like small. There's no information because it hasn't really happened once in a life. Exactly. So it's like, let's walk through this process and see what we do. Okay, so
what? Can I throw a scenario at you?
Okay.
All right. Okay. You're walking, right, and you see somebody in a corner, like huddled up, right, and they're not supposed to be there. Mm-hmm. All right. What do you do?
Like, where am I walking? Outside? In the building? Like, am I at work? Is this a work scenario? Like how like how I was training the girl on the So at first, like, in my mind is to I would put it in the group chat, right? If I'm not the lead, because I was the lead, I'll put it in the group chat immediately. If there's anything crazy, anything suspicious, anything like you have questions on, I would always say just throw it in the group chat. Somebody's gonna see it.
Yeah.
Because if I can't get there in time, or somebody's like, it's college, right?
Yeah.
Just anybody could get anywhere quickly or faster than somebody else.
Yeah.
I was just throw it in the group chat just so people are aware of it, like, so that way you're not alone, right? Okay. So in that situation, me being myself, I would just from afar announce myself and see if they're okay. Yeah. Because if, let's say that person is crying, intimidated by something just happened, me approaching them, no matter who that is, whether it be male, female, whatever, being them, like, I don't know what the situation is, I'm going to announce myself from afar to let them know that I am not a threat if I walk closer to them. Mm-hmm. Right?
They don't respond. There's no response. They're still huddled up. They're still huddled up. Then what?
Then boom, phone. I dial 1. That goes to University Police.
Okay.
Call UP. It's right there. They're right across. I'm like, hey, I'm at certain distance away from this person. They're sitting in a corner, huddled up. Looks like they're cold. Looks like they've been through something. I just need somebody to come over here with the appropriate. Oh man, it's not. They're not a threat so far. Like, cause you gotta tell them, is it
it's a threat or not?
Like, so far it's not a threat. Doesn't
they get up real quick?
Yo, they get up. Oh, like, it's a threat. It's a threat. Calm right now. Towards you. They start sprinting at me. I'm like, yo, it's a threat. And then at that point, like, I'm in a position to where I can defend myself.
Okay.
Right? Because I kept my distance.
Yeah.
I'm on the phone. And I can react to it.
They stop 10 feet in front of you.
10 feet in front of me? I'm like,
and then they open up and they shriek.
I'm gonna shoot back. I feel like I'll think it's funny, and I'll just like make a noise back.
Oh, okay.
Just to see what happens. But I'm not worried until they get like close to me. Then it's like, if I'm at jabbing distance, I'm a jab real quick, just to like stay over there. Yeah.
Okay, so I think that's a good response to that sort of scenario where someone just...
Because I'm thinking more of the other person as opposed to myself.
Yeah, right? Yeah.
I'm not thinking...
You're not thinking selfishly.
Let's say it was my little sister, right? 15 years old.
Yeah.
And then I'm just like, oh shit, now I'm worried about me because I have to cross over there.
Yeah.
Right? I have to go outside through that door, and that's the only door, and that person's standing in the door like that. Mm-hmm. Now I'm thinking about, oh shit, what if that's a setup? So...
There's been situations doing my job as security. I'm patrolling the parking lot, and I see a car that I know is not supposed to be there because this spot is vacant, and it's vacant every freaking day. So I'm just like, I see it, and afar I'm like, hey, you gotta go. And they turn the headlights on, and there's one instance the guy is just pulling off, and he's like, and he just says to me, yo, where you live? And I was like, Brooklyn. He was like, no, you don't. I was like, yeah, why would I tell you where I live? was like, get off the property, bro. And he just drove off. I was like, this guy is... Imagine someone really giving out their address, or at least the vicinity. Is like, stupid.
I live over there. I actually live in the building. What's up? I've never seen you.
Good. Now that you're here, you know, back in the States, United States, the greatest country in the world. We're number one. We are the home of the brave and the free. There is no such thing as racism and no such thing as...
We live in a utopia.
Yeah, we are a perfect country.
Yeah.
Now that you're back here.
Yeah, yeah.
Not in that, you know...
Third world.
Yeah,
fucking,
Mexico.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, I love America, right?
Because I saw you said you want to put an emphasis on your social medias and you being a... I would assume... you didn't say
that? When did I say that?
No, you said you want to get into your social media. You want to start like your TikTok.
No, I said I'm posting more on social media.
Yeah, that's what I took from it. That's what I know. I'm putting words in your mouth, and I'm clarifying it. I'm clarifying. I'm putting words in your mouth, and I'm just like
the purpose. Let's talk about purpose. Intent.
All right, what is your purpose in life?
Okay, not that.
Oh.
The reason why I'm getting on listen, because I gave you a daunting task to run the social media for IdleTalk.
You know I hated that.
Yeah, which, we all have to do things we hate. That's just life. Yeah. But you hate social media so much to the point where that little experiment, I was like, I need to hurry back because I don't know what happened with you on the social media, but then like after 4 or 5 weeks, you were like, fuck this. I hate this, every single thing. I'm just like, but it's part of our lives. It's part of the work that needs to be done. So I was just like, the reason why I'm personally I'm trying to grow my things so I can grow the IdleTalk things faster too. Like I'm associating myself with that.
You're associating yourself with the entity, yeah.
Yeah, so that's why that's the intent behind all the things I'm doing. I'm just also like, read my captions, like they're pretty long. Yeah, and I always put like a joke at the end. Like I look forward to one day where people are looking forward to my captions to see what the joke at the end of it is. Mm-hmm. That's my end goal with that, with the captions. That's what I hope to accomplish with that, right? But I'm also just posting stuff. I'm trying to relearn the Instagram algorithm, learn completely the TikTok algorithm, learn what pops on Twitter. It's a process of, successes and failures.
Left-handed people matter.
Yeah. Because I've been running an account for a long time. I'm not gonna say the account because I don't want.
You never even told me the account, nor have you even shown me.
Never.
It's like
so I'm running an account, and then it was we took a promo for some wallpapers, and on an Apple Watch.
Do you get money from that account?
No. It's part of my larger scheme of plans to do. So I'm like the Riddler. Okay. So, and then
is this part of your chronic lying thing?
No. Okay. And then motherfucker told you. And so they were modeling the Apple Watch, and then they were like, "Who has the dialy thing on the left hand side?" And I was like, I texted the person who sent me the picture. I was like, "Yo, look at this comment." And then they were like, "Left-handed people." And then so I replied to the person. I was like, left-handed people. And they're like, oh, I thought that was the right arm. And I was like, see, prejudices. Gotta fix that.
That's where the left-handed people matter?
Yeah. So I was like, left-handed people matter. Because she was so upset. The girl who replied to the story, she was so upset. She was like, who the fuck puts that on there? I'm sitting in my hat. I just realized. They're like, who the fuck puts that there? And I was like, look how worked up this person got over the picture. She's like, I was like, oh, no, because I'm left-handed. And I was like, oh, that makes sense. I didn't even, I looked at the picture. I was like, oh, aesthetically pleasing. Cool. Post it, right? And then somebody was so upset over it. I was like, what's wrong with this picture? And then I sent it to she's just left-handed. They're just left-handed. And I was like, I feel like that was just a funny interaction. So I tweeted that. It was an inside joke for the most part. Like, it wasn't like
with you and that person.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I was like, and then somebody replied to my tweet, "No, they don't," and I sent them that picture, and then they were like, "Why are people coming at me like this?" And I was like, "I don't know." It was funny. Okay. People who listen to YouTube music, they matter.
Did you tweet that?
Yeah.
I didn't see that one. I didn't see that one. Have you seen any of my tweets?
No.
No?
Don't go on your Twitter. And honestly, my timeline is filled with a bunch of stuff that I don't ever see your stuff. Let's talk about that, because my Instagram timeline, I finally got it to the point where I'm seeing things of people I want to see.
Yeah.
And it took a lot of liking their stuff, like going out of their way, liking them, DMing them, telling, like, just having conversations with people, DMing them, like liking their older stuff. And so like I have my timeline filled with things I enjoy seeing.
Isn't it like in the algorithm that if you post less or like not so frequently, that you're less likely to show up on other people's feed, right?
I think so.
Right? Yeah, that's my thing. I don't show up on other people's feed. I don't post a lot, and neither do I tweet.
You don't do shit on social media.
Don't
Like,
do shit.
what do you have? Like, why do you have them? It's because you had them before and now you just don't like them?
No,
like, what's stopping you from deleting them?
Because of
Completely,
Well,
like erasing your account.
because of this people I have to connect with. Like, there's certain people who I don't have their numbers, nor do I want to give them my number, and I just give them my.
This is a barrier.
Yeah, it's a barrier. It's a wall. Why did I have them? That's the exact same reasoning. It's like in high school and middle school. It was like, here's my MySpace and things like that.
I was on Instagram day one.
I know.
That was crazy.
Did you notice I went through your whole IG?
No, even those pictures. I did notice that. But those pictures are still. There were pictures I've deleted before then.
I thought
like before that. That was like 11th grade, most part.
Yeah,
10th, 11th grade and beyond. I had shit from like 9th, 8th grade.
Yeah.
That I just got rid of completely.
I was never on social media at that time.
I was like, get me out of here.
And the thing is, like, when I'm out and about, I'm not on my phone. As you know, we go out often, and I'm not on my phone.
Because Corona's not real.
Yeah, coronavirus is not real at all. It's a conspiracy theory.
It's a joke.
And
I believe in
we know it's not real. We know it is. These deaths are not real.
I'm gonna get at the microphone.
Now, what are we gonna be doing? I think. What are we gonna be doing with the podcast now? I think I'm really excited about the next 10 to 20 episodes, because we're gonna be introducing some guests. We're gonna be doing some gameplay. We're gonna not gameplay as in video games, but playing the games that you showed, the little card games and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And
I was like so confused on what you were saying.
Yeah, and
gameplay.
Introducing new skits with new skits within
just new. I don't want to say skits. New segments.
Yeah,
that's the proper word.
Yeah, segments.
Different segments, not new segments. Like, I don't want the same shit every time.
Different segments.
I'm excited for the guests for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, I definitely want to get as many people on the mic as possible.
You hurt?
Well, like your schedule Monday through Friday. I was like, we would usually record in the weekdays, and then edit on the weekends. So now it's record and edit on the weekends to get it out on Tuesday.
Yeah.
You realize that?
No, I realized that.
Yeah, so a bit difficult.
Yeah. So it's been difficult on my personal life too. Dating and things like that. I haven't really been focusing on dating. People don't interest me anymore.
He's dating himself.
Exactly. And if someone can't keep up with what I'm dealing with now, they're just they're gonna be playing second fiddle.
Is that mature or immature in that way, where it's like you think that somebody's not capable of keeping up, or do you think it's more like mature on your own? Like, I'm doing so much stuff now that it's like I don't want to subject anybody to that.
That one, the latter.
Yeah.
I'm doing a lot of stuff. People who come into my life, or at least start the talking stage, it's just like, you gotta understand that Monday through Friday, I don't got no time for you. Saturday and Sunday, barely any time for you. And the time that I do have, it's very limited, so I only give it to the people who actually would want to get to know me at a certain capacity that they would want to take it to another level.
Yeah.
And even then there's other like barriers that like, do I even want to be with this person?
Mm-hmm.
And then that's a whole different thing, and it's all these emotional gaps, and it's just like I'm taking it super. I used to go 50 miles an hour.
Yeah.
Now I'm going 15.
Yeah. It's funny. 15 miles an hour.
Yeah.
I was telling my sister we were driving today.
Mm-hmm.
And then I
She's
didn't.
driving?
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
So she was driving my car. And so we were driving from Gorton. And then I was like, nah, keep going straight. She's like, what? What's the turn here? I was like, nah, keep going straight. Because I would take her in a circle around those neighborhoods. Because it's like,
easy.
not that many people driving there.
Yeah.
And so I drove her. I made her drive us home.
Yeah.
And so she was driving. She's like, there's are cars here. And I was like, yeah, let's go. Oh my God. It was just so funny. It was just so funny. I'll tell you the path we took off microphone. But like, it was just so funny. She was like, there are cars here. You want me to make the turn you usually make? And I was like, yeah. And she's like, but you always complain about making this turn. And I was like, so let's go do it. Make the turn. It was just so funny to experience. Cause she's not that bad at driving.
Yeah.
For a
and now
15-year-old.
I thought you were gonna say something else, but it's definitely dope that she's learning to drive at such a young age, so that when she actually gets her like into the groove of it, she's gonna be fluid.
Yeah, she's not that bad, for sure. But I'm not gonna teach her how to parallel park.
Why not?
Because nobody ever taught me how to parallel park except the driving teacher.
Oh, okay.
And I feel like if someone you know is teaching you, it's gonna get a heated argument. Because I tried to teach an ex how to drive, and then we got into a fight, and I was like,
"Do I know that person?"
No. And I was like, she would like be scared driving and shit.
Yeah.
And so we were driving in a parking lot at my school. There's nobody there. It was just me and her. Like
there were no cars.
No cars. Nobody on campus at the time. Like it was the summertime. It was the summertime. Nobody on campus. We're driving. I'm like, she came to visit me, and I was like, all right, slow down. Like, come on, we need to talk, because the way you're driving and treating my car is like if this was a road, like we would have hit something by now, sideswipe something, like, so let's like, and then she's like, all right, so boom, so she stops, we stop, right, but the car isn't fully stopped yet, and then so she takes it from drive to park, and I could hear all the gears grind, and I got so mad hearing that noise, and then it just escalated the
rightfully so, though, because she
it escalated how mad I was gonna be. Like, I just wanted to talk about, like, I wanted just to discuss, like, you can't be doing this on a live road. You can't be doing this. You can't be doing this. Like right now we're in a parking lot, and it's your time to learn, right? It's your time to learn without being scared of somebody hitting somebody, doing whatever, right? This is a learning period, right? That's what I wanted to get out.
Yeah.
And then I heard the gears grind. I'm like, you're driving so fucking dumb. Why are you so fucking dumb? Like, I was going off on her. I was like, I told you from the beginning, whenever you switch these gears, you need to be stopped completely. And then she's like, yeah, but you wanted to talk, and I was getting so nervous. I was like, why the fuck are you so nervous? There's nobody on this goddamn campus. Even when there's people here, there's nobody on this goddamn campus. Like, because we're in the middle of nowhere. And I'm just like, so that's what came out. So I
would say rightfully so. Like, what if that damage would have came up to like hundreds of dollars? You didn't have that money.
It would be the craziest thing if it got damaged that way, right? Because it's the only time that's ever happened to that car, the once and the last time. Yeah. If that happened to the car consistently, let's say that was her car, and she was treating it like that, like, because some people don't treat their cars the way it's supposed to be treated, like,
supposed to be treated with love and respect.
Yeah, or like when you start the car in the winter, don't drive it immediately.
You're supposed to let it warm up.
Yeah,
give
warm
it some
up.
Kisses and stuff.
Same, like when you're parking the hill, put the e-brake on, and then when you're leaving the hill, let's say, because I live on a hill, you keep the e-brake on, you shift it to drive, and then you turn it off, and it'll make the transition of the gears smoother, right?
Oh, okay.
So little small things like that, right?
Yeah. People
mistreat their stuff like that all the time, and it's like, so I was just trying to get that information, like, you can't do that, but then when I heard the
it was over.
I just lost my shit, dude. I recognize it now that it wasn't the appropriate response, because the appropriate response would be to be level-headed, and yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
but
we're not perfect, man. It's okay.
But I
forgive you.
I fucking went off on her. To this day, it was like, damn, that was brutal. But yeah, driving is crazy. It gives you a sense of freedom. Definitely. I would say, if you know it, if you know how to drive, because then you could just get a shitty car and go somewhere.
Go from point A to point
look
B.
Back. Yeah. So
I think this is a good place to end it.
Okay, so that was Idle Talk number 1.
Hey.
Different kind of episode.
Free flow.
We're gonna pull this out every once in a while. It's not gonna be.
It's not something you're gonna get often.
Exactly.
It's a little treat.
So it'll be like when an Idle Talk number whatever comes out, it's a
special episode.
It's a special episode, so look out for that. So that was Idle Talk 1. Thank you guys for listening. I'm Fernando.
Valdez the Don.
Peace.
Deuces.